I run 8 minutes late on average.
8. That's about right. 8.
On average.
Oh.
On average. I was born a day ahead of schedule, so that when you average that into running, right, 20 minutes late. When I sat where you are as a village mayor, I always thought, wouldn't it be nice if Dutchess County hosted one of the supervisors and mayors meetings, in particular here at emergency response, because in particular in responding to emergencies, we as a county, depending on either its locality or the impact could be much broader, have to act in concert. And it took me, about 12 years to finally get the opportunity to host a supervisors and mayors meeting in Dutchess County government. And you've met some of the folks. I'm not going to introduce everybody. I'm going to let Dana introduce everybody because there are a lot of county people here. There are a couple people I just want you to know. Certainly Dana Smith, who will speak in just a, that's your name?
Yes. And that's what it says on the sign. Yours and
I noticed. But also the director of the Office of Computer Information Systems, Tim Mahler, is here in the back. Tim's going to be talking to you in a little while, and I'll let him introduce his staff. With me as well as Colleen Pillis, who is the Director of Communications for Dutchess County Government, and Assistant County Executive Mike Ellison. We're going to hang around with you for a little while. Just a couple things. This is perhaps, and we've had people visit from all across the state. I think this department in particular, this building, and you're going to see a couple components of it, is perhaps the most state-of-the-art, certainly in the region, and I think we would really compete statewide when it comes to our ability to both manage emergency operations, but respond to emergency scenarios. And what we want to chat with you today about is both our responsibility and your responsibilities under the law, help you understand sort of processes when it comes to emergency response, and talk a little bit about what occurs in this building in response to emergencies. Secondarily, we want to show you some of the technology that we're making use of. Tim and his group's going to show you some new programming that we're making use of to manage emergencies, and where perhaps you can be helpful to us and we can be helpful to you. And then lastly, Tim and his staff are going to talk to you about a program that we're going to be launching in 2 months, 3 months? 3 months. Okay, yeah, I'm trying to give them as enough time as I can give them. Called Dutchess Delivery, provided us by Gov Delivery. Did I get it? There you go. What we're trying to do and what we think is critical is communicating better with residents. And I can only tell you, I sat in your seats and know how difficult it is sometimes to get information out to the public in an organized fashion. We have entered into a contractual relationship with a service provider who will enable us really to take all of the databases when it comes to email and electronic communication and cell communication, text communication, bring together all of the databases that exist both in your municipalities and the ones that we have, and link a integrated communication system to your websites, our website, and enable both Dutchess County government, for those who want county information, to put out county information, and then through a contractual relationship with, which I have to tell you, I'll let some of my other friends kind of tell you the value, but is I think a very affordable. We've negotiated these guys down to nothing. That would enable you to make use of the same technology and communicate to your constituents directly information that you want to get out in a very coordinated fashion. So if it comes out from the town of Wappinger, it'll always look like a message from the town of Wappinger. If it comes out from the village of Millbrook, it'll look like a message from the village of Millbrook. And we'll be able to integrate what comes from Dutchess County with what comes from you. I think, and I'll tell you, sometimes I get criticized for being a politician. I know none of you are politicians. When you run for re-election, you're automatically a politician. Run the first time, it's not. But I think it's more critical than ever to communicate clearly with people, especially when we're all dealing with the same kind of challenges: budget issues, financial and fiscal concerns, healthcare, insurance, retirement, challenges in managing infrastructure, getting emergency information out. I don't think it's ever been more critical to be able to communicate clearly. And you are the people empowered to communicate with your constituents. So regardless of political party, regardless of your length of service in elected office, you're the ones empowered and responsible for clearly communicating with residents. And what I know will get talked about, especially in the context of emergency response, is clear and concise communication of expectations is absolutely critical when it comes to dealing both with emergency scenarios and then what we have to deal with more broadly. So I'm hopeful that when you see the program, you may want to buy in. Tim will explain the contractor's given us a window of opportunity for municipalities to jump in. I think I'm fair in saying, you tell me if I'm wrong. I know the town of Pauling. We gave a sort of a preview. I know the town of Pauling is jumping in. Town of Poughkeepsie is close to jumping in, about there. And the town of Fishkill is about there. Are you there or about there?
We're checking the law.
Okay, good. But the more we can get in now, the better it is for everybody. It makes it more affordable. They'll explain it, but I think it's a great tool that'll help us communicate with residents. So with that, we're going to hang around for a little while. I'm really thrilled to have you here. Sometime in the next 60 days, we're trying to schedule another meeting with the supervisors and mayors, and we'll talk policy and budget issues specifically. But we wanted this to be an opportunity for you to see the services that, or at least the work that goes on in this building, the way we respond to emergencies, and then talk a little bit about those things that we can work on together. I do want to note that with us as well, representing the town of, well, half of the town of Hyde Park and the Dutchess County Legislature. Is this you? Are we in your district? We're in his district, and you ate his food. He didn't bake it or cook it, but it's his constituents, Rich Perkins, who represents a portion of the town of Hyde Park in the legislature. And that's it from the legislature, right? Okay. So with that, Dana, you're on.
Thank you, sir.
You got it.